the verge of 2025, that's one thing that needs to be said. Humanity is progressing in leaps and bounds. So we are live streaming is about to, and it has started. So now handing over the charge to the president, which conveniently happens to be myself. So no transition time. Thank you all for joining our last meeting. We are in a reflective mood about 2025, 2024 and 2025, because reflection of the past is also uh, an excuse to have a glimpse into the future. So, Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmasters Club is a club is an advanced club which follows all the rules and conventions of Toastmasters and pathways. But in addition, it is also a theme club, which means that it is centered around the pursuit of science and technological education and celebrating scientific advancements. So, with that said, we are fortunate enough to be joined by two guests here. Technically three guests, but one of them is our club coach, so he's not a guest. Toastmaster Aman Nadi, would you like to introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Toastmaster Aman, and I am VP Education of SEA Global Toastmasters Club, and I am currently working as a software engineer, and it's my I think second time in Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club meeting, and I am very optimistic and very passionate about joining meetings and learning from them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aman, for joining us. Toastmaster Amra Yunus.
Assalamu everyone. Am
Yes,
I
you are.
audible? Yes, so I'm Amra Yunus. I'm the member of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Professionally, I'm an educator basically, and heading different projects in my organization where I work, named as Citizens Foundation. Something that I would like to tell you about me right now. I just got my ankle surgery last Wednesday. For the same reason, DTM Talha could not join. I tripped over office stairs on Monday. So Alhamdulillah, better now on medicines, of course, on bed right now. But I'm taking this time as the time to get connected with my learnings. I think this is no expectation from anyone from me. So I have time to ponder over my things. So I'm taking it this way. So thank you so much. Need your prayers, of course. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course, you have our prayers. There must be the same horrible stairs that are there in the TCF head office, right?
Gigi, yeah, it was I was just coming down from first floor to ground floor and just tripped over.
Oh God.
So it was very horrible that time, but later on, and I went through a lot of pain and surgery and all that. But I am just wondering, maybe Allah wants you to slow down and connect with yourself and the things you want to do for learning, because I'm always passionate about learning and doing things. So Alhamdulillah, the prayers are needed, medication are going on, so things will be better, inshallah, very soon.
Yeah, sometimes one needs that. Sometimes one needs the freedom to do nothing. Even that can be a blessing. And that can be very unfamiliar, very uncomfortable, but sometimes it's needed. We have Toastmaster Waheed Akhtar. Please introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much, sir, for my introduction. I am Waheed Akhtar. I am president of St. Petersburg Toastmasters Club and working as assistant manager, accounts and finance in St. Petersburg government. Today I have some spare time, so I decided to attend your session. And this session is very having no speech of the Sarnath. So I decided to join your session and learn the new things from your session. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Waheed Akhtar. And Toastmaster Latif, we don't know who you are, so please introduce yourself. Okay, I think.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Reason of joining Toastmaster? I don't think so. We need a reason, but it's all just meeting together. That's it. A lot of learning, and those who does not know Latif, I am a member of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Big fan of learning through others' journey, speeches, and of course, I always love to share my views also with this platform. It's just give and take. Over to you.
Great to have you, Latif. As always, great to have you in any meeting. Toastmaster Salah Hamid, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. This is Toastmaster Hamid, a proud member of Karachi Toastmasters, and really glad to join this meeting. I like it, and I just joined it. Just the reason of the keynote of the DTM Surprise that appealed me, and once I joined this meeting to deliver my speech as well, I really like the way the evaluation being done and the great speakers. It's always love to be among the learned people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Silla, for joining us today. And yeah, so everyone, if you could please turn on your video. If not, that's perfectly okay. And today's theme is reflecting on 2024 and thinking about 2025. So let me start with something uh, that is a scientific development in 2024. Let me just read it out to you. The mass of the W boson contradicting earlier measurements supports the standard model. Back in 2022, the CDF collaboration from Fermilab published an extraordinary claim that surprised many. They reported a mass of W boson with the smallest errors uncertainties ever that conflicted with the predictions of the standard model. Combined with a known measurement of the top quark and the Higgs boson mass, the value they had arrived at suggested that something was either wrong with the standard model, implying new physics, or with the experiment and analysis, implying that data from LHC would eventually contradict their results. The latter option is precisely what happened earlier in 2024. The Atlas collaboration announced their result for the W boson's mass, and it was not only consistent with the standard model's predictions, it refuted and contradicted the CDF result. Now, heaven knows if any of us understood a single word of that. And why did I read it out to you? As an example of what not to do. This piece of news, I have very choice words to say about it because I was trying to go through this article myself earlier. And I even shared it on the Contemplate group, but it commits so many crimes against humanity. The first is that it doesn't set out the context. What is W boson? Why should we care about it? What is the standard model? And in addition to being obtuse and unidentifiable, it also commits the crime of being uh, difficult to read. It's really difficult to read because the sentences are structured so bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your first valuable lesson, even before DTM Sarfraz takes the stage. The first valuable lesson for 2025. Do not write your speeches like this. And, I would, seeing Toastmaster Latif, I recall one of my speeches on which I got very valuable feedback. In that speech, I had shared three iterations of a single thing, a single instance connected around the theme. And Toastmaster Latif said that three iterations were not needed. Maybe even two or even one would have sufficed. And that was a great lesson in simplicity. So I think ladies and gentlemen, one of the first things in our communication we should keep in mind should be simplicity. Uh, there's also one more interesting phenomenon that I noticed. Uh, when I used when I used to when I was in school and I used to write in English and Urdu classes articles or whatever we were asked to write, especially in Urdu. Since I started reading Urdu literature, especially, I used to populate it with absolutely difficult words, difficult to understand. Because back then I thought that literary achievement meant no one being able to read or decipher what you wrote. Only later, and I also did so with English as well, because sometimes when you get a new set of tools, you go crazy with them. It seems that you don't have any boundaries. Uh, so using long sentences, using difficult words, using difficult vocabulary used to be something that I used to do. But then I started reading English literature, or rather English novels, and magazines, books, and I realized one thing: native speakers have no need to show off, and therefore they use the simplest possible language. You can decipher that someone is a native English speaker or writer just by looking at their elegant writing, which is no nonsense, which is no frills, especially in English versus Urdu. Uh, it is clear to the point, short sentences, and that is when you recognize that this is a native speaker or writer. So we have two more guests joining, and great to see them. Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, sir, many of us know you very well, but as a matter of formality, if you'd like to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Thank you, DTM Talha. My name, as you just mentioned, is Najam Rizvi, and I'm a member of Karachi Toastmasters, ex-member of Karachi Toastmasters, and that's about it. Over to you.
That's a modest introduction. And Toastmaster Najam Rizvi is also my first ever mentor and remains a mentor to this day. Thank you for joining us. Toastmaster Sabah Anjum.
Hello.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I was just scrolling Facebook and I saw the post just now with the name of Sarfraz Sahab, and then I found the meeting is going on and I immediately clicked, and I'm happy to join this meeting today.
Great, Sabah. Great to have you. Thank you for joining us. Shaukat Hussain, would you like to introduce yourself? Mr. Shaukat, are you there? Okay, anyhow, we'll come back to you later. And now, without further ado, is not the right thing to say because I've created plenty of ado already. So, after much ado, I will hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day, someone who is a legendary personality in the world of Toastmasters and also our current club officer, our past area director, our past administration manager, and a mentor to thousands, if not millions, of Toastmasters worldwide. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Now I realized why DTM Samir always get annoyed from the word seasoned Toastmaster. Thank you so much, DTM Talha, fellow Toastmasters and guest. A very good morning and evening, or sorry, afternoon, wherever. And welcome to another exciting meeting of Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. And about the Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club, it's an advanced club. And the different thing about this club, it has a different pattern of Toastmasters meeting as compared to the regular one. We start with the keynote speech, then we'll have a prepared speech. We also have the table topic session, and finally, we're going to have the evaluation. And the evaluation is a little different as compared to the regular Toastmasters meeting. So without further delay, let's begin our meeting with the keynote speech of DTM Sarfaraz Nazir. As we all know, DTM Sarfaraz Nazir is currently serving as the TLI chair of District 122. He has served division position. He is the past division director, past area director, and I know him from quite many years and found him a very inspiring and very and amazing speaker. So, uh, so let's begin with this. Let's begin. Okay. Do we have the language okay, DTM Sarfaraz Nazir is also the language evaluator. So I request DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, would you please explain this role as well?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Imran Rana. I'm sorry I was not paying attention. I didn't know I was the language evaluator. A language evaluator is very similar to what some clubs call a grammarian, paying attention to the correct usage of English or the misuse of English language. And towards the end of the meeting, I'll then present my findings. And that depends on how much I'm listening, since it's already past midnight.
Thank you, sir.
Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thanks so much. So the timer we have Toastmaster Quantum Leap AI. So DTM Talha, would you please define what AI?
Well, actually, it's not AI. It's just a video background that changes colors according to the time. And clearly, DTM Madam is so excited about this advanced concept that she named it as AI. So that's what you'll see. When your minimum time is reached, you'll see the green color, the intermediate time yellow, and when you see red, that means that you have 30 seconds to wind up your speech or table topics or evaluation. The duration will be according to the project. So over to you, TM.
Thank you so much. Now it's time for me to hand over the charge to our keynote speaker. And let's dive into today's keynote speech. So DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, the stage is yours.
Sorry, TMOD, what's the duration for the speech?
Just a minute. The duration of this speech is 20 minutes and 10 minutes for Q&A, right?
Sorry, missed that.
20 Q&A.
Okay, fair enough. I'm putting it the timer for 18 to 22 minutes. Yeah, there it is. So over to you, DTM Sarfaraz.
Mr. Timer, I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'm going to open the file, and then when I'm ready, I'll give you the signal to start the time.
Okay, sure.
Mr. Timer, can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Or the first
Yes,
slide?
sir, I
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, it is my honor to talk to you about what it takes to succeed when it comes to setting resolutions, establishing goals, or working on your priorities. My question to you is, in your opinion, what percentage of people set resolutions or goals at the start of the year? Any idea?
Yeah. 20% perhaps.
Okay. And what percentage of people successfully achieve their goals at the end of the year?
Or 0.01, 0.01.
Okay. Second. About 40 to 40%, 45%, slightly less than 50% set goals, meaningful goals. You may have already have read or heard from professional development experts, goals should be SMART and so on. And less than 10% actually achieve their goals, if you say from a success point of view. Many people don't start their goals at the start of the year. By March, they're just getting going. And by June, they're now thinking of why they're not achieving their goals. In September, they're thinking, well, what are my excuses? What am I going to tell people that why I did not achieve? In my personal opinion, people focus on goals. And I think in order to succeed, you must focus on your priorities. And there's a difference. Goals is something you want to accomplish. And you say, this year I want to lose, 10 pounds or 10 kg weight, or I want to read one book a month. That would be a goal. But priorities are values. Priorities are things that are important to you. The goals may tell you what you want to accomplish, but the priorities tell you why you want to accomplish. It's your raison d'etre, the reason to be. So if you focus on priorities rather than your goals, you're more likely to succeed. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to go over 3 major steps: the blueprint for success, the foundation for success, structure for success, discussing 9 steps that are based on my own experience from 2010 to 2020 and what I accomplished because of these steps that I'm about to discuss. So this is the roadmap, the 9 steps, because if you ask someone to construct a house for you and they start building, you're not going to be happy about it. First, you want to see a blueprint. Then you want to see the foundation laid and then the structure. So same thing when it comes to setting your priorities. You need to focus on your blueprint, then the foundation for success, followed by the structure, the actual, that's where your focus will be, your meat of the priorities and goal setting. In other words, that's what it takes to succeed. Many people can set goals. It's not that difficult to set goals, but the reason people fail is they do not take the action or the steps necessary to achieve them. So starting with, every book on goal setting will tell you, sit down at the end of the year or the following year or at the start of the year and make a list of things that you want to accomplish. Make a list, there's no hard and fast rule how many items you should have, just write as many as possible. And then you need to put them into different categories. And I've noticed many different professional development experts or gurus will say, 9 or 10 different categories, and they'll ask some questions for each category and let you answer them, and then plot the results or the numbers that you come up on a wheel, and to see if your wheel is balanced. That's too cumbersome. So I've come up with a simple method. I personally go with 3 main categories. Now, you can follow something similar, or you can come up with 5. And the reason is everything that I want to accomplish falls under these 3 categories. And then these 3 categories are subdivided into 3 further. And that's very similar to a speech structure in Toastmasters, where I've conducted training sessions in which I had 3 steps and then 3 sub-steps behind each step. So in this case, I have 9 subcategories, starting with self. That's yourself, faith, spirituality. You can call it religion, yoga, meditation. It's different names to it. Your physical health, your mental health, and then all relationships, which would be your immediate family, other family members, or friends. And then finally, the finances, the financial aspect, your income, your investment. And the reason I said everything falls under these is everything that's about yourself will come under the first, self. Everything to do with relationships comes under family. Several years ago, I came up with 5 categories. In addition to these 3, I had friends or friendship and fun. Then I realized good friends should be part of the family. So I took the friendship out, and fun, I said, everything a person does, you should be having fun. Otherwise, no point in doing it. So I removed the fun also, and it ended up with 3. And exercising 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week, would be an example of what you will have under self, under relationships. You say, family getting together once a week or once a month. And then under finances is the savings. Many problems arise because of financial difficulties. If a person is having financial difficulties, it is difficult to focus on your goals or priorities. So you want to make sure savings. And there was a time when I was living paycheck to paycheck. Then I realized now with the digital accounting system, companies deposit person's paycheck directly into their bank account. So there's no paper check anymore. And then all I had to do was to open a savings account and set up an automatic transfer every week or every other week, depending on how often the person gets paid. Money goes into the bank account, and then automatically some of it is deposited or transferred from the checking account where the paycheck is going into the savings account. So you're automatically having some money saved. A lot of times people pay their bills first, and then after they've paid the bills and have some expenses to be covered, there's nothing left to save. So best thing to do is to pay yourself first. In other words, save yourself first. So define your categories and then take the list of things that you want to accomplish, put them into the categories or subcategories. They all should fit in one of those 3 categories or 9 subcategories. And once you have done that, then pick 3. You can pick 3 major, one under self, relationship, finances, or one under each of the subcategories. So if you put 1 under each subcategory, you'll come up with 9, or you can have 3 under each subcategory, maximum of 27, depending on how complex they are and how long it's going to take. So you set what you want to accomplish, define your categories and subcategories, then place or link your things that you want to accomplish with the categories. Defining values. Why is it important? Because values tell you what's important, what will drive you. And there's a list that says, relationships, family, physical, all kind. In my case, I just came up for myself 5 values that drive me or define me, who I am. And I call it REAPS, REAPS, respect, excellence, achievement, pride, success. So things that I work on or the actions I take, these values will guide them. For example, respect. I don't want to accomplish anything if I have to step on someone else's shoes and mess up their shoe shine. In other words, I cannot disrespect someone in order for me to succeed. And I've seen many people in business, they cannot succeed or climb the ladder of success on their own, so they try to pull down other people. So respect means that you accomplish on your own without bringing someone down. So once you have defined your values, then step 5, for each priority, what will you sacrifice? Some experts will tell you to make up a fish diagram for each goal that you want to accomplish. And the fish diagram shows what are the forces that will help you achieve that goal and what are the obstacles. And instead of doing the fish diagram, I believe you should say, what are you willing to sacrifice? If I want to accomplish something and I'm not willing to sacrifice anything for it, then I have a problem. So for each item, in some cases, it may be easy. There's nothing to sacrifice. In some cases, you may have to sacrifice some money or your time or part of your sleep, something. So list what are you willing to give up in order to accomplish those goals. And then you take the items that you want to accomplish and divide them into 4 quarters. Right? So now you're converting your annual plan into the quarterly plan. Some things like reading a book every month, that will fall under all the 4 quarters, and some items may fall under just 1 quarter. You might want to accomplish in first quarter or in the last quarter, depending on what it is and how long it's going to take to accomplish. And I like to use the formula 40, 30, 20, 10. Place 40% of your goals or accomplishment list of accomplishment in the first quarter, 30 in the second, 20 in the third. And by 6 months, some people just get it going. In your case, if you do 40, 30, 20, 10, you have accomplished 70. Then you have 6 months left to accomplish another 10% to make it 80%. If you accomplish 80 to 100% of your goals, that's great. So define what you sacrifice, convert into a quarterly plan, and then instead of going by month, many people do a monthly plans. I personally go from annual to quarterly and from quarterly to weekly because there are 13 weeks in each quarter, and now you don't have to focus on the month. For each week, you define at the start of the week what you want to accomplish in that week. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it's going to be difficult. You don't want to wait 3-4 months and find out, hey, you have just not even accomplished 10% of your goals. So at the start of the week, like if your week starts Monday, Sunday evening, you say, what do I want to accomplish this week? So list the top 1, top 2, or top 3. And next 1 or 2, if you have accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish under green, yellow is mean, hey, if you have time, you'll do that. And red is, what are you going to avoid? See, if I want to accomplish something that's going to take 4 hours every day, I cannot sit down and be engaged in social media 4 hours. So I'll have to sacrifice the social media time, cut in half or 25%, so I can focus on my priorities. And for what you want to accomplish during that week, in order to make sure that you accomplish, rather than waiting till the end of the week, say, oh, I was busy this week, but I didn't accomplish anything. I use the formula 4, 3, 2, 1 because my work day was 10 hours. You can adjust based on what your work hours are, 12 hours or 8 hours. 4, 3, 2, meaning the 4 hours I want to work on critical, something that's very important. that if I don't get accomplished, I may have a bad review, or my boss or boss's boss might be not happy with me. Critical task, then 3 is primary task, 2 is secondary task, and 1 is some of the other tasks. And what people do is, many people make a to-do list on a daily basis. What people fail to do is then schedule your priorities on the calendar. Most people just put meetings on the calendar. I suggest that you also put priorities. If I'm going to work, let's say 2 hours on project XYZ, I need to schedule 8 to 10 or 9 to 11, whatever time. That time is then blocked, just like you're blocking a time for your meetings. So that if someone calls me, says, Sarfraz, you're available at 9 o'clock this morning, I'll look in the calendar and say no, because I've already scheduled that time to work for myself to work on my priority. So if you do this, that's what will separate you from most of the people who fail to accomplish their goals, by scheduling your priorities on the calendar rather than just having a to-do list. Then workday rituals. French author Victor Hugo, he used to write, and his ritual was he would take his clothes off and hand it to his butler or assistant. And I said, and he would tell him, say, hide my clothes and don't give them to me until I finish writing what I'm supposed to write today. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go naked in your office or at home and have someone else take care of your clothes. But in other words, you need to have some ritual. So some of the things that you want to do in order to accomplish is, don't carry other people's monkeys on your back. A lot of times people say, oh, so you have time, something, can you do this for me? No, if it's not part of your action plan, your priority, you shouldn't be doing. Now, if my boss's boss calls me to ask me to do something, of course I'm going to do. That will become a critical or a primary task. If my boss wants me to do something and I'm busy doing something else, then I'll talk to him. I said, hey, which one you want me to work first? The one I'm already assigned and I'm working on, or something new that you've asked me to do? Your co-workers may come and say, oh, when you get a chance, can you send me such and such? No, you do those sub-tasks when you have time. So you don't sacrifice your own time. People say at the end of the day, whoa, I had so much to do, but I did for X for so-and-so, I did this thing for another person, and I didn't get anything accomplished. So you don't want to carry other people's monkeys around. And avoid jumping through hoops or doing urgent work. Don't try not to put out fires, and schedule self-focused sessions during the day. And what I mean by there's different techniques that people use. Let me see, show something. The Pomodoro technique, which says 5 steps. You choose your task that you're working, then work 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break, and then you take a 20-30-minute break after completing 4 Pomodoros, and then you start the cycle again. And there's another professional development expert by the name Darren Hardy. He calls jam sessions, 90 minutes. You 90 minutes focus on the task and not look at phones or check emails or answer calls or text messages. And do that. In my case, I decided to go with, if you want to spend 90 minutes on a project, you do the 3:45, 3:45, 3, or if you want to spend 2 hours, then I use the 8:50, 5:57. So you need to schedule the session, 1 in the morning, maybe 1 in the afternoon or 2. So jam session, these are sessions, or I call it sensational, SN for my initials. Sensational is when no answering emails, I'm busy. So in our case, our email, I could change my status, say busy or in a meeting. And there's one time I was working on a project, someone came into the office and I guess they saw I'm busy. They left a piece of paper. And later on, when I looked at some piece, I didn't even know that somebody had walked into my office and left that piece of paper without even knowing. I was so self-focused on what I was working on. So in order to make sure that each day you're accomplishing something that's your priority, you do some special session where you're self-focused based on your calendar. So this occupies most of your meetings, some of the work that you're working on projects. So that way, most of your calendar is full on a daily basis. And the good thing is that you're working on things that are priority to you and not someone else's priority. Find your 25th hour. Most people say, well, I could accomplish more if I had extra time. Everyone has 24 hours, but you can find the 25th hour. And what is that 25th hour? Extra time. For example, some people use, if they're going to work, driving, they listen to an audio, some audio book, for example. In my case, I traveled at one point on a regular basis, and I would arrive at the airport 2 hours and go to a lounge, and I'd spend time working. If my flight was a long flight, for example, one time traveling from Dallas-Fort Worth in Texas to Paris, France, it was a long flight. So that gave me at least 6 hours to work on the flight. So you find some time where you call this a 25th hour. So you have an extra hour that you're gaining, making sure that you don't sacrifice other priorities, meaning your relationships. You don't want to be working all the time. So there are ways. If you spend 4 hours on something that's, for example, on watching television, you can cut down to 2 hours, and that gives you another extra 2 hours to work on your priorities. So there's different ways of setting the goals. The main thing is scheduling it, and then focused on what's priority, and making sure you don't work something that's not a priority to you, or taking on other people's tasks and assignments. And I'll now open for questions. So see if you'd like to ask something, or if you have a comment. And I'm sure you have your own system. You can share with us if something that you do that works well for you. So I'm going to stop sharing, and so you can go back to the.
Thank you so much, sir. And yeah, I'm removing the spotlight too, so that we can all see each other. So anyone who has a question, please raise your hands. Sir, I have a question. I'd like to open with a question.
Sure.
Yeah. So all the techniques that you mentioned, of course, they're very realistic, very doable, and they're grounded in our everyday realities. But after a while, and that's the most dangerous time, when you're starting to settle, sometimes you start losing the motivation to continue that routine. So how to safeguard against that? Because that's where most New Year resolutions go to die. They start with great fanfare and everything is looking fine, but then suddenly the motivation drops.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, that's easy. You say, hey, everyone starts with gusto. You're right. End of December or January, people are crowded in office supply stores, buying, day timers or day planners, whatever, and then get going. And then as the time passes by, they're going off. So that's why instead of setting goals, you focus on the priorities. Motivation, you need to find what's your raison d'etre, your reason to be, what drives you, why you want to accomplish. Most people know what they want to accomplish. Not too many people know why they want to accomplish. In my case, there were times also, whatever task was given, I did that. I was not really focused on something that will help me. So one was, especially after I got the news that my father has passed away. And my parents, both mother and father, sacrificed. I'm the only son. Can you imagine the sacrifice a mother letting her teenage son leave home and go halfway around the world? And so I used to think about it but after my father passed away, then even though my parents are not around, but I want to make sure that their sacrifices do not go in vain. So that's one. And whenever I visit Karachi, I go to the graveyard, their final resting place, and I apologize for all the times when I was a pain in the neck or did not do whatever. Many times when my mother wanted me to do X and I wanted to do Y. And I also thank them. You may have heard that many last few years, especially after COVID, many Americans feel that the American dream is not achievable anymore. And I'm living. I'm the living proof. English is not my language. This culture, I'm not 100% familiar with it. Yet I am living the American dream. I'm financially independent. I'm financially free. I do what I want to do when I want to do. So that's from the parents' point of view. And I have 3 children. And once I was talking to someone and I mentioned, this is what I want to do. He said, oh, that's called legacy, what you want to leave behind. So I have 3 children. Some of my coworkers used to complain they had to go to the bank and borrow money, loan, to send their kids to college or university. I was very blessed. God has been kind to me. All 3 of my children got scholarships. So I didn't have to spend money or take out loans. So since I was blessed, I want to make sure I leave something behind. So my children are my driving force. So parents on one side, children, and that was keeps them motivated. That we say that, hey, we find the world when we come into this world, and we should leave it a little bit better when we leave. So this same thing is that I want to pay back, or in other words, I want to show my gratitude, my children, that many American families are having difficulty with their children. Children are off track, drug usage, something. I am very, very blessed, thanks to Almighty, that they are all well off. Many Americans now, especially during the election, you may have heard, can't afford housing. That was one of the issues. Housing market. That my son has a house which is bigger than mine, and he's already paid it off. And so all my children are on the right path. Those are the kind of children that you would love to have. And so now I want to make sure that I do the things that are right, correct, so that God has been kind to me, that I need to utilize my skills and abilities. So that's what motivates me, the parents' sacrifices and the blessing that I have, God's blessings through my children.
Thank you, sir. I think Toastmaster Cyril had a question, an earlier raised. Cyril, would you like to go ahead with you?
Yes, TBH. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, DKM Sarfaraz. It's a pleasure to know this side of you, and it's a new side of you that I'm learning today. Just a quick question. How do you deal with breaks that are absolutely unavoidable? While in office, I had a team reporting to me. Therefore, though outside my cabin, there was a do not disturb sign put up whenever I need to go into deep thought. Sometimes a team needs to break in. They need to come in because it's an emergency. I need to step in. I need to guide them, or even closer home. I have a 1-year-old at home who doesn't read English or Hindi or Urdu, who doesn't understand what's a do not disturb sign. He just barges in. Sometimes your flow is broken. How do you come back after a break? Do you have what's your usual methods that you adopt to come back and gain?
Now, so you talk about the home. Now, I'm going to separate the two. Let's talk about the office, for example. Many times, people are working. If call comes in, they answer the call. And then they have the phone, and they're also, each time a ding, they'll check and see and then respond. So in my case, was when I was involved in my sensational sessions, I was not available. No checking, let's say 2 hours. During those 2 hours, no checking, answering the phone, and or your personal phone. Now, iPhone, for example, you can set the ringtone for certain people. If you're your family members or your spouse or your parents, and you can set it so that their call says where something happens once in a while, you may want to answer that. And there were times when people call my boss. They say, "Well, I can't get hold of Sarfraz," and so I would minimize, unless it's an emergency. Something to say everybody, if there's an emergency meeting, something that's fine. And most of the time, you should not let that do that. Now at home, I balanced it. I didn't have jam sessions at home. Mine was, for example, a lot of times people say I have to work late. And let's say it's a family gathering or some family event, and you say, "Oh, sorry, I can't make it because I have to work." No, I would make sure I'm balancing both my professional life along with my family. I would leave work, take care of the family affair event, and then I would work at home. My boss knew it, take it or leave it. So I would then work at home if I had to leave sometimes early and make up the time. Now the family, I would spend time for family, and then something needed to be done from a work point of view. That I did after all the family affairs were over, or the kids have gone to sleep, for example.
Got it.
But in your case if you're working and somebody kids, you don't want to, on a regular basis, you can't say, "Oh no, don't disturb me." The kid will assume that, hey, you never want to be bothered. So that's one break. So that's why my sessions, the 2-hour sessions, it has a few minutes breaks in between.
Got it.
Like
Got
the
it.
3 minutes or whatever, or 5 minutes, you break how you want to establish. So that you cut it off at that point, and then you take care of the event, and then come back and you see where you. So if you do get interrupted, it's going to take a few minutes extra because you've been interrupted. You say, "Oh, where did I leave off?" So it takes. So once in a while is fine, as long as it's not on a regular basis. So your kid comes in, you take care of them, and if it's something really important that must be taken care of, then you forget what you are working on and take care of the child's needs. If it's something that can say, okay, you listen to them and say, "Okay, give me 1 hour, and after 1 hour, I will then get with you and we'll do X, Y, Z or whatever the child needs." Does that answer your question?
Yes, in a way. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, TBH.
I think Toastmaster Latif has a question.
Sure.
Been waiting patiently.
No. I have actually a question, but more of the question, it is my appreciation of for you to give us time. You've always been an inspiration for us. 3 things which I really loved it on your speech was actually the keynote had nothing new. It was all we have learned across the days, but it is always important to emphasize. So I really love the way you mentioned the jam session, because sometimes we used to have some words, but jam session is not the one. But second, uh, which along with your time, I really liked the way you said find your 25 or 25th hour, which is really lovely. Now, only one thing which I really want to introduce to all of the audience, as you mentioned that if you have a technique to share, do share. So after realizing my past, where how I used to fall into those trap of financials, I feel it is all important that we should not start our year in January 2025 to December 2025. We should have something called by October we should start, or by November we should start. So by January we are all in that flow of on towards our goal. So that is what I feel, that we should change our calendar year instead of starting it from like financial years we have. Just make it starting October, so we are in the rhythm starting Jan. Thank you very much again for your time, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Like some companies, their financial year, FY, is the same as the calendar year, January, December. Others have, they go July 1st to June 30th, like Toastmasters. Some things they do. And the United States government, for example, the year starts on October 1st.
Yes.
Budget, the year ends on 30th September and the new year starts. So you can go, the same way, either July 1st or October 1st. So that's good. And final comment I would make, I mentioned traveling. And there were times when I traveled by myself, then I, controlled my schedule. Sometimes I travel with a team. And most of the time, people that I travel, they loved, we have meetings at wherever we were, and then go out to eat. And then most of them wanted to drink till 9 or 10 o'clock. And I don't drink something, but so if we were on a travel 3 nights, I would give them 1 night, but I would go with them. And when they drank, I just had either water or a diet Coke, for example. And the other 2 nights, I would go fast food, pick something up, or go to a restaurant, take out and take it to my room, eat. And then that's where my 25th hour came in. I would then spend some time, and I was on a business trip. I came back, then I had to go on another project the following week. So there was no time to do the previous work. So I just did work at the hotel, and I sent out a report. I finished work at night. I didn't pay attention to the time. I just sent it out. Next day, I saw the chain. One of the managers received it. He forwarded it to his boss and boss's boss and said, Sarfraz is on travel for another program, but he's worked on our progress report. And he said, look at the time. And I looked at the time when I sent it, it was 20 minutes after midnight. And I didn't even realize. So when I came back to the office, there was an envelope sitting on the desk with a check for $300. It says a special recognition. Thank you for supporting us. I said, hey, that's not bad for staying for finding the 25th hour at night. So
thank you.
There's several things that you can do. So you try something. If something doesn't work, don't do the same thing. A lot of people keep on doing the same thing and expecting different results. So something doesn't, ignore it and go do something else. What works, apply that. And it's been my honor to talk to you and share some of my experiences. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Deacon Sarfraz. We have 2 or 3 more questions. First, Toastmaster Asghar, I saw your raised hand, and after that, Toastmaster Abrar. But please keep your questions brief.
What if we can ask them to write the questions on the chat box and DTM Sarfraz will answer this?
I think we can just allow these 2 and then afterward.
Okay. It's 12.
Yeah.
Okay. The Toastmaster.
Go ahead,
Asghar. You're muted actually.
Thank you. I want to be as brief as possible. I had a similar presentation from you last year, so I jot down some priorities, goals, and objectives. Later on, I came to know that at least one of my priority was wrong. Now, the question is how to correct the very priority that we want to work throughout the year. What if my priority is to eliminate 2 million Jewish in the coming year from Germany? So, this. Can how can I set my priority and goal before the objective, going to the objectives and working based on weeks and months activity?
Okay, sometimes people say, well, how do you eat an elephant? So 1 bite at a time. If you try to eat the whole elephant at a time, it doesn't work. So same thing, if you want to eliminate, 1 million of people, for example, and I'm assuming you got this idea from the presidential election in the United States recently, where they said they want 10 to 12 million illegals. They're going to throw them out, put them in cages, and then try to throw them out of the country. So whatever is reasonable, you do a few at a time. So I was talking with the task. So in my case, some tasks, they have several steps. So I would break it down because the entire project may take 3 weeks. So I would have the different steps, and then each week then working on some steps. And the way I worked was based on deadlines. I would work what it takes to do that and then work backwards. How much time I knew what it would take. So in your case, if you want to get rid of it, you can't do all in one day unless you have a magic wand and you do that. So now priority to change. Even the goals or the people set up a change. If something changes during the year, every quarter, not every week, you used to say, okay, well, what did I accomplish this week? What did not work? And then what do I need to accomplish? But also at the end of each quarter, see where you are. And if the priority changes, you may have to change. During the year, your job may change or your job responsibility may change. So that happens, then you readjust, reevaluate, and readjust and refresh your plan. So what you don't want to do is if something not working, you don't want to stick. Because I was a member of a team where we were on a project, and it came to a point after 6 months that there was no way that we would succeed. It was we were working on something that was sure to fail. And everyone felt that way, but the one person that started, one of the managers, he does not want to accept failure. He said, no, keep trying. So you keep trying something that's not working, you're wasting time. So it's the same thing. If something you find out not working, go modify, change your either action plan or your priority. And that's right, priorities do change. So if you're a single person and during the year you get married, of course, some of your priorities will change. And that's when your major event takes place, either job-wise or family-wise or in your personal life, then you adjust your plan accordingly.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Brar has dropped out. So now I would request everyone to note down their questions in the chat okay, and hand over to Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, I'll need a help from you. Please ask if someone would like to volunteer for language evaluator because DTM Surplus has journal evaluation too. So if possible, and over to you.
There's one hand raised from Aman Nadeem. And he was also patiently waiting for his question.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Shall
Okay.
we?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Shall we take his question as well? Okay, please, Aman,
Thanks so
go
much.
ahead.
Okay, so sir, my question is that I want to extend the question of DTM that we get motivation, but what if we are not getting that motivation? Like we do action because we
I think we lost his connection. I can't hear, but I think your question was.
So my question is that, like you said that you have a parents and kind parents that they sacrifice for you in return. Then if someone didn't have that thing and someone so how do we get that motivation? Because at least we need an emotional connect in our lives. So I want to ask that if it is all internal or we can have a supportive person or emotional connection with someone. I hope you understand. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. You can have other people provide support to you. Now, many professional development individuals or experts, they say, you should set goals, announce to the world, like go on the top of the mountain and yell and say, these are my goals. So the more people know about it, they'll hold you accountable. I personally don't believe that my goals are my personal. Very few people knew. Now the work goals were by our department. Everybody in my department had the same goals with some minor modifications. And so when it comes to work, motivation was if I don't get accomplish the goals at work, that will reflect on my performance review. If it's a poor performance review, the pay increase is going to be out the window. Poor performers did not get any raise, zero. And that was the requirement from human resource department. Every manager had to have some people at the top, outstanding, and they got the way above the average raise. And then some people on the bottom rated as poor, and they didn't get any, zero. So that's one motivation, that you want to be rated high. In my case, one was my value, one was excellence, everything I do. That doesn't mean I have to spend same amount of time on every task, minor task also, but no matter what it is, doing the job with excellence. And it works in Toastmasters, whether you're Toastmaster day or just an R counter, you perform your task, whatever it is, with excellence. So your motivation would be your boss is going to be unhappy, or after a while, if you fail to work on your priorities or your goals at work, you are going to be written up, and it's oral first, then written up, maybe second notice, and then finally they may fire you. So that's the motivation. Money is motivation, and the job, holding on. And what do you do? Go somewhere else, say, what happened? Oh, because I was not motivated to do much work at work, and that's why I got fired. But now you hire me, and I'll be motivated. So there's different reasons. And your family, from a family point of view, you want sometimes if your personal thing that you're doing, you want the family support. If you're engaged in like in my case, there were times when I was spending a lot of time on a speech contest, going from one level to next level, going around to different clubs to practice the speech. So in that case, you need your support from your family members. Sometimes you may practice in front of the family members or take the family members with you so they can see what you're doing and they may give you feedback to you. So your motivational is internal, meaning from yourself, but also you should have a support system, which would be your some of the family members or friends whom you trust, or you may have a coworker that you trust, not just anybody, because most of the people that I work with, you can trust. Everybody is busy trying to climb the same ladder of success. So everybody's pushing each other around something. So there's always some people that you trust and you get to know them. And if they're trustworthy, then they could be your support system to provide the motivation that way. Now, that doesn't mean every day you're going to be well motivated. Some mornings you just hate to get up, and that's fine. But it should not be on every day. If you go to work for 4 days, 3 days you should be in, at least 3 days you should be saying, I can't wait to. And you get to work, and instead of people, oh, I haven't had my coffee today. Oh, today's a bad day. Oh, I was busy so weekend, I didn't know. No, go in there. Good morning. One day I did that. I was at work. Everybody passed by later. I saw that. I was standing in the hallway and said, hey, good morning, good morning. And they were wondering. And this was the day after performance reviews were held and people got their pay increases. And I did that, and people thought they must have given him a lot of money. That I just said, good morning. Good morning. And so they're not letting people. So there's some self-motivation too. Good morning, smile. Smile is the best. Smile. Some people respond to you, some not, but hey, good morning. It's a great day. Go out. I've noticed a lot of the wait staff. When you go to a restaurant, very few people can say thank you to the wait staff. They'll yell and scream at them if they don't provide good service, but just say to them, hi, how are you? How is your day? If I go to a store to get something, I talk to the cashier while I'm paying them money, something. I say, hey, how was your day? Were you busy today? Talk to people, something. So you brighten up someone else's day, they in return will brighten up your day. So motivation can come from different sources. And Toastmaster answer has know how do you know my priority? No, you know if it's important to you. If once you decide why, you'll know if it's the right priority. If you if you cannot come up with a why, then means you got an issue. But if you know what is your priority, maybe your family is driving that priority, your boss may be driving that priority, or your job, or it could be yourself, that you are interested in doing something that's what drives you. And if you don't have a why for it, then of course you change your priority. So that's how to know if your priority is right or not, once you know what drives you. And if you don't feel motivated, if you're not motivated to do something, that means there's a priority might be to change, or you need to modify it.
Thank you so much, sir. What to you, Toastmaster Imran?
Thank you so much for such an insightful session. I think we should have a one-day session after the key after this keynote speech. Uh, I would request our PQD to have such kind of session. I hope the DTM Sarfraz Nazir have answered all the questions. If not, then please you are requested to write your questions on the chat, and he will get back to you. Now we are moving towards our prepared speech, and we have one prepared speaker, and he is none other than Toastmaster Khurram Chishti. Toastmaster Khurram, could you please unmute yourself and turn on your video? I would request you to please let us know the speech title.
The speech title is Don't Take It With You.
Sorry, come again.
Don't take it with you.
All those things shared by DTM Sarfraz Nazir, so you are telling us we should not take it with. Okay, so
That's the yin yang of life, right?
okay, so our lead evaluator is DTM GK Ajay. So GK Ajay, I request you to please, you can pick your team from the audience.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Imran Rana. Today, Toastmaster Khurram Chishti is delivering a speech from Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 3, and Negotiate the Best Outcome Project. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different types of negotiation and the strategies that can be used when negotiating and share some aspect of a past or future negotiation in their life. Dear timer, please note that the time allotted for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And now I need to search for my team. For auditory, may I request DTM Talha?
Okay.
Okay, so let me note it down. And for visual, let me see the. May I request Latif? Is it fine, DTM Talha?
Yeah, you don't need to ask me. Ask the person you're now appointing.
Latif, are you fine? Latif, are you fine to take up the visual evaluator or the evaluator for visual aspect? Latif, are you with us?
And we also have Toastmaster Abrar Wani with us. If you could ask him.
Who is that, DTM Talha?
Toastmaster Abrar. He's one of our he's our public speaking champion for 2023.
Okay. Abrar, may I request you to be the evaluator for visuals? Okay.
Okay,
speaking, you're on mute.
I can take it up.
Okay, it's a 1 minute evaluation. Okay. Yeah.
So it's Abrar, right? Confirm, who confirm?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay, so for perceptible, may I request DTM Sarfraz Nazir? Sir, may I request you to be the evaluator for perceptible aspect?
Okay, I guess I can do that. I was going to be the general evaluator. Okay.
You can
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, sorry, sir, if I may. We can ask maybe Toastmaster Imran for that, or Toastmaster Cyril for that.
Okay, so Imran, could you please help me by being the evaluator for perceptible aspects of Chisti's speech, Khurram Chisti's speech? Or else Or else I can take it up, DTM Talha. Perceptible will be mine.
No, but you're the lead evaluator, right? So
Right.
yeah. So how about asking Cyril and asking Toastmaster Asghar for these two?
Yeah, happy to take it up. I'm not sure what exactly is the ask here.
Yeah,
I can.
the ask is to give within 1 minute your impression about how the speech affected you as a listener.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you. And coming to the structural and language, may I request Wahid Akhtar? Could you please take up the structural and language? It's a 1 minute evaluation on the structure of the speech and the language used by the speaker. Are you fine with that, Wahid Akhtar? Okay, or else may I request Salman Ibrahim?
Actually, Salman is on the road right now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no.
You can ask Toastmaster Imran maybe again.
Imran?
Yeah.
Knocking on your door for the second time. Can you please open the door? Imran, can you please help me by being the structural and language evaluator?
Okay, I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Are you fine, sir?
My internet is not working properly.
Okay, I can understand.
So you can ask Toastmaster Asghar maybe.
Sir. Can you please repeat that name, DTM Talha?
Toastmaster Asghar.
Aslam.
Asghar, Muhammad Asghar.
Okay, Muhammad Asghar. So Asghar, could you please be the structural and language evaluator? I'm sorry, speaker, for keeping you waiting.
Yeah. Sorry, Khurram, this time we did not appoint them in advance, so you have to wait a
No
little.
worries at all. I'll do the language also, language and perception. I'll do both. They kind of roll into each other.
Okay, Sarfraz
This is
Nazir, right?
Toastmasters.
That's Cyril. That's
okay. Okay. So this is my team. For auditory, DTM Talha. For visual, Toastmaster Abrar. And for perceptible, it's Cyril. And for structural language, Sarfraz Nazir. My apologies, Sarfraz Nazir. So over to you, Toastmaster Khurram Chisti.
I think Toastmaster Cyril took the fourth one as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, fine. So finally, time is yours, Toastmaster Khurram Chisti. The title of the speech is "Don't Take It With You." Don't take it with you, Toastmaster Khurram Chisti. The stage
I'm
is
so
yours.
sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. This is Toastmaster Cyril. Is Toastmaster Abrar on the group?
For visual.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Latif is there.
So yeah, already requested Latif, but no response from him.
He is there now.
Yeah, Latif,
He was at
can
the
I
phone.
request you again for the visual evaluator?
Yeah, he thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Who's the timer? Sorry, DTM Talha, is it you?
Yeah,
can you
I'm
ping yourself here?
Pinning myself. I'm pinning my window.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, there you are. Okay, you can start.
Okay. One day, I explained to my wife that in a jungle and even the house, there is only one alpha predator. There is one man of the house. There is one lion, the alpha lion, whose rule prevailed. Everybody have to follow it. And whatever I say, it has to go as an order. She say, okay, thanks. What? What you are waiting for? I'm also waiting for her response till now. It's been years. Fellow Toastmasters, raise your hand if you also believe that negotiating certain terms with the wife are impossible. I see few hands are up. Others are either not married or their wife is in front of them, maybe. I think so. But anyhow, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, negotiation. Negotiation is an art and it's a science in itself as well. It's as important in the life as your bread and butter. Your life is full of negotiations. You negotiate when you buy a vegetable. You negotiate at tailor's shop for the delivery date. Even at your hairstylist, you negotiate for the extra services you are paying for the massage, right? Negotiation is everywhere. Negotiation have different shape, form, different styles. There's a personal negotiation, there's a professional negotiation, and out of the curriculum, I would say one more, self negotiation. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Negotiation is very serious stuff to be handled. Few years back, with one of my friend and his family, they call me as a negotiator because they know me well. I was well respected in the family. It was a classic case of a girl want to marry outside the sect, and the parents are not agreed. In this case, you need to understand one thing very clearly. The person who is doing the negotiation should be recognized by the both parties. Otherwise, one of the party, they even don't bother to listen to you. And secondly, you have to be absolutely a neutral person. And lastly, one negotiation style doesn't work in that case. Because according to so many parties there, you have to shift your style from accommodating to compromise to collaboration, and you name it. Many ways you need to listen and adapt. And after 3 days of back to back, up to down, front to end, all type of negotiation done and successfully, I was able to resolve the issue between two parties. The parents were agreed to marry her outside the family. Both families' term and conditions was finalized. And finally, that girl is happily married now to somebody else, not to that boy. Because simply she realized after all that things happen that when the two families start talking with each other, they are not synced with each other. So there's a lesson that sometime you know that things are not going to work out here, but you play neutral and you play according to the needs of the parties and then let them go with the flow. I have been into so many professional union negotiations. And this point is quite serious, guys. Because then you are representing an organization where they want to make money talks there, but where the money is important, in parallel a human part of the relationship is important as well. You need to understand that the workers are humans, not machines. They will be working more progressively, more motivation will be there if they are happy, if they want to work. Obviously, you give more money, they will be more happy. But in those kind of a things, what you need to do, you need to make data driven decisions, and you need to adapt a compromise approach. You move one step toward their incentives, they move toward one step toward your requirements, and that's how both parties work together. But the most important thing today, what I want to talk about, is out of the curriculum thing, which is self negotiation. Have you ever thought that you sit in front of yourself with the mirror and negotiate with your own self? Have you negotiated with yourself that you will reduce the social media usage and have more focused time? Have you thought that consuming less sugary, less fatty food, and you negotiate your taste buds that will give you less taste but will give you better health? Have you ever thought that you will be getting better for your own self? Fellow Toastmasters, the important message and the takeaway of the day is that there is no stop of learning of negotiation till your grave. You will keep learning it. But important thing is that either you are a negotiator or you stay with a negotiator. And if you are a negotiator, keep your son, your daughter, somebody with you always, with your friend. Don't take the gold knowledge you have learned over the time with your grave. Don't take it with you. Whatever you learn throughout your life, teach to somebody else, because negotiation skill is a skill which make a simple man a gold man. Over to you, Toastmaster, today.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful message. And now it's time for me to hand over the charge to the lead evaluator. DDM DK, the stage is yours.
Okay. So thank you, dear Modi Imran Rana. So I will begin my evaluation first and then move on to the team, asking or requesting them to provide their feedback. So Toastmaster Kulam Chisti, congratulations on your speech. Thank you so much for a wonderful speech. And I would like to evaluate your speech in 3 aspects: what went well, and areas of recommendations, and the conclusion or the summary part. So let's move on to the first segment, that what went well in your speech. You started your speech by mentioning alpha predator or lion, and I was thinking, what does this mean? And you cleverly turned it to the husband aspect, a husband and wife relationship. And you spoke about the importance of negotiation, and you clearly mentioned that we do negotiation in every aspect of our daily life. We go to vegetables and we negotiate there. We go to groceries or to buy purchase clothes, we do negotiations there. So you clearly brought in the importance of negotiations in our daily life. And you also mentioned what qualities a negotiator should have. You brought in 2 things here, like he or she should be known to both the parties, and he or she should be neutral. And you mentioned, or you shared with us, the personal experience of your own negotiation skills and how it backfired, and in a very more jovial way. So thank you for that. And when it comes to the self-negotiation, it's a new concept for me, because reducing the social media presence and intaking of low sugars is a new experience for me, and that's a word like self-negotiation is a new word for me. And you concluded your speech with by encouraging audience to teach like negotiation skills for others and don't take it to your grave. So I completely agree with that. These are the things which went well. And coming to the areas of improvement, you kept hold of the speech title till the end. Okay, so I think you overshot the time, you exceeded the time as well, and you spoke that don't take those skills with you until the last moment. If you could bring it maybe at 50 minutes or 6 minutes, and you have one more minute to speak on that, it will be very it will give some time for the audience to sink in that concept into their minds. And you also spoke about don't carry that skill and teach it to others. If you could mention, because some skills cannot be shared, some skills can be shared. Okay, if you share few skills, it might harm you, or you can share those skills with your own children and it cannot be shared with other people. So if you could clearly explain to whom you can share and to whom you cannot share or you could not share, it will be very helpful for the audience. So overall, I enjoyed your speech. Thank you for your speech, and I wish you all the best for your future speech projects. Now let's move on to the team. So may I request DTM Talha to provide the auditory evaluation for the speaker, please?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, as they say, nothing to report because the audio was perfect. We could hear every word. And what's more, your speech also had the requisite vocal variety and voice modulation from start to finish. Although at times, the variation got a little predictable, but at the same time, uh, we could feel the emotions or the humor behind the words that you were saying. So yeah, really nothing to complain about in the auditory area. Over to you, lead development.
Thank you, DTM Talha. So may I request Toastmaster Latif to share about the visual aspects of the speech.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ajay. Toastmaster Kuram, I really love the way you were presenting yourself, the dressing code, the patience what is being tested while assigning the evaluators, and the vocal variety. The way where you started your speech was the best place, I believe, because the moment when you came ahead a bit, it break the momentum of the whole picture. Now, what I suggest in two things: one is on the zoom setting, you have to remove the original ratio. Once you remove that original ratio, it will give you the broader view, so that your hand gestures will not be cut. And last, which I want to give an visually more effective, you were looking at the audience on the screen, which is very good. But had you looked at the camera of the laptop, you will be looking at us, and we would be thinking that you are looking at us. I know you were looking at the audience at the view, but if you would have looked at the camera of the laptop, would be much better. So visually, these two things and amazing. Love to hear more. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Wonderful. So may I request Toastmaster Cyril to provide perceptible structural language evaluation all at a time, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Apologies, my camera is off. But in talking about perceptions, how I perceive the speech, well, this was a wonderful speech in terms of listening to it. It was a wake-up speech to me. It was a surprise speech to me. You ensured that every 45 seconds or a minute or so, there was something there that would actually snap someone out. Number one, talking about the alpha, the predator, the conversation with the wife. That little side bit about if you haven't raised your hands, then yes, you're either not married or you have your wife sitting right in front of you. Then the other surprise that you brought in, The girl is happily married to someone else. And then in between them, you added an element of gravity, self-negotiation. And I was like, oh my God, this speech is going to become serious again. You carefully dovetailed the humor between the serious points. Hats off to you. You had me, like I said, you had me awake throughout the speech, listening to you. A couple of things that I wanted to mention. You mentioned all the types of, you gave an example of, the corporate negotiation that we do, the familial negotiation that we do, self-negotiation. Do we need so much of an example? I believe the pathway, you can actually talk about a cursory walkthrough of the various style and zoom in on your style of negotiation. Uh, Perhaps that would have been a little more, you'd have got me a lot more attentive that way. Also, the takeaway, don't take your lessons that you learned to the grave, share it. I was a little underwhelmed at that learning. I would have probably maybe the self-negotiation piece, self-discipline would have been a better hook to keep me engaged better. I thought you did us an injustice by giving us lesser lesson, more precedence than the more important one. Again, coming to perception, I agree with Toastmaster Latif that eye contact would have been better. Staring at this little hole in your screen where the camera is would have actually engaged me better because I would have gotten the feeling that you were talking to me. Also, the camera movement was a little uh, indisciplined. You were a little too close to the camera at some point of time, and sometimes you were a little away from the camera. I felt a little excluded that way. That's it in terms of the speech structure, in terms of and perception. In terms of language evaluation, I loved some of the words that you were using. Too many for me to actually state. Let me just focus. Do I have time here? Let me quickly look at the couple of things that I wanted to mention. Uh, alpha alpha predator. It's the correct term is apex predator. Yeah, all predators tend to be alpha, and among the alpha predators themselves, there's an alpha creature. But the word that you were looking for would be apex predator. And I think something very small matter. Workers would have worked more progressively. Workers would have worked more enthusiastically. I'm just nitpicking for language. But thank you so much. That was a very entertaining speech. And yeah, back to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cyril. Thank you so much for the team and their team. And it's now time for the speaker, Kuram Chisti, to provide your feedback on the evaluations. Do you have anything to say?
Yes, thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters. All the evaluations are accepted and they are absolutely correct. Let me just open very quickly a Pandora box of excuses. So the important thing is that this is first of all my one speech after 1 year, so I'm a bit rusty and dusty. Camera, I agree. Usually when I do speech, it's just the camera, not anything else in front of me. I'm talking through my mobile phone, so I can understand that how it goes. My speech, I have a 6 week baby, so let's say after I say the point that you should be a neutral person, the whole speech was an extempore. There is nothing written there. So you can imagine that I can understand whatever you guys are saying. I really appreciate your feedback and I will work hard to come back to the same usual standard.
Okay, so thank you. It means that it's a table topics with much longer time. Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Kuram Chisti. And the stage is yours, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chishti and GKJ and the team for providing us such a wonderful feedback. And I'm sure we all learned from the feedback. Now it's time for us to move towards the Geek of the Week session, right?
Yes.
And today's Geek of the session will be conducted by our president of the club, TTM Talha. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. So I'll quickly go through this section. Geek of the week is something where one of the members highlights something or some book or some movie that needs to be checked out by others. And I'll put up a timer of 7 minutes on that. So today, the Geek of the Week will feature this book series by author C. Clarke. It's it's called the Rama. Sorry. It's called the Rama series. It opened with the novel on the left, Rendezvous with Rama. It was an award-winning and landmark novel. And then Author C. Clarke continued this series for three more books, along with a co-author, Gentry Lee. So this is a very unique book because, yes, this is a science fiction book, but it's also a social commentary on humanity. In this book, what happens is that a mysterious spacecraft from somewhere else comes near the Earth, and astronauts go to explore it. Now, that mysterious aircraft is nothing like humanity has ever seen. If you look at the title of the book, 2, Rama 2, this is what it looks like. It's a cylinder which is 50 miles long and 8 miles in diameter. And that means that entire cities can be uh, instituted inside the spaceship. So the first book was came out in early 70s, 73, I think. The series was completed over the next 21 years, and each book explored a different aspect of the journey. The characters of the first book remain, some of them were carried over, and of course, the spaceship travels faster than light, so time is not an issue, right? Uh, what it shows is that there's a mysterious intelligence that created these ships and sent these ships to the solar system for a specific purpose. For the longest time, no one, in fact, right at the very end of the fourth book, we learned the real purpose of these ships. Otherwise, the humans inside, the astronauts, they kept guessing, they kept checking, testing, and exploring the ship. In the second round, in Rama 2 and Rama 3, uh, a whole colony of humans is living inside these ships. And they have a whole city to themselves. But at the same time, the ship is also cohabited by other species, other alien species. So the difference between and the interplay between the various species is a very interesting dimension. Now, I mentioned this book specifically because this book seriously creeped me out. It kept me in a state of dissonance for weeks and weeks. There is something so strange. It really seems as if that Arthur C. Clarke has, you know, peeked behind some mysterious curtain and really seen how the universe, or at least he's made that attempt. So, what I told about you about this book uh, is just the tip of the iceberg. The whole atmosphere, the very mysteriousness and the alienness of the concept is unsettling. And I strongly recommend this book to be read by everyone. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for such a valuable session. Now we are moving towards the advanced table topic session. And for that, we request DTM Talha one more time to please step in. Who's is it Adam Rizvi or DTM Talha?
It's me.
So over to you.
Thank you so much. So at Quantum Leap, we have a very different way of doing table topics, and the requirement for being a table topic speaker. Uh, okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Cyril. Thank you for bringing so much to the session, just like every session we attend. Sincerely, thank you for your presence. So in Quantum Leap, the table topic speaker comes on the stage, and then the following table topic speaker spends 30 seconds to evaluate the preceding table topic speaker before they get a chance to speak themselves. So today, my theme is very simple and painfully obvious. It is the hits and misses of 2024. So we've all been going through lists. There's a Spotify Wrapped, there is best of list, there's a worst of list all over the internet, YouTube, Times Person of the Year, and best inventions of the year. So I would like to invite our first speaker, Toastmaster Bilal Aslam, to the stage. And Toastmaster Bilal, yes, you are the first speaker. That means that you will not get to evaluate anyone before you, but you will be evaluating the last speaker. So that's how the cycle will complete. So Toastmaster Bilal, your topic is simple. My best moment of 2024. My best moment of 2024, Toastmaster Bilal Aslam.
Okay, thank you so very much, Talha bin Hamid, for giving me this opportunity. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so luckily, I was the table topic master in a meeting yesterday, and I asked one of my participant, one of the guests, the same question, that what would be the best moment you would call for this year, which is about to pass. Okay, so I did not know the world is so small that things come back to you so early. Anyways, so I would say I changed my job a couple of months back. Okay, so I would say this was the best moment for me in my this year. It's not that I'm very much career oriented. Okay, it's not like that. And the job, you can say, if you look at my career profile, I had a big names of the company, but this is a small company, kind of a startup to who I joined. So it's not kind of a big achievement, but it feels to me that it was a big moment for my life because this is what I wanted. I wanted to contribute more, and this is the platform where I'm getting this opportunity to contribute. Okay, so but I am also a mixed feeling that the year has passed and there could be more moments I would have cherished. But right now, this is the only one which is coming in my mind, which is the moment I got a call from the HR company that you are selected. So that was the best moment. So thank you very much once again for this opportunity, and back to that table topic master.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next table topic speaker will be, okay, our TMOD seems to have disappeared. Where is, oh, there he is, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Please evaluate the speech for 30 seconds. After that, you will get your topic.
Okay, what I love about your speech, you spoke confidently, you kept smile throughout the speech, and since you were quite familiar with the topic, so I can see the confidence. So the only area of improvement, maybe you could have used your hand gestures, or maybe you could deliver the speech in a standing position. Otherwise, overall a wonderful speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Now, your topic is my scariest moment of 2024. My scariest moment of 2024.
Okay, thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Uh, I am known to be a person who don't deliver speeches for quite a very long time. Means I hardly deliver a speech once in a year. So this year I got a chance to compete in table topics, sorry, international speech contest. And you know what? What's the scariest moment? I have to compete against Toastmaster head of the sea. Luckily, we were only the two participants, so I thought, okay, not first. I can be, still I can be on the podium. Luckily, unfortunately, the judges declared me in club contest on the top. And now what? The area level contest. And what's the most scariest part? Again, I had to compete with DTM Venom. Again, we were the only two contestants who were competing. So I thought again, no worries, if not first position, at least I still be on the podium and still qualify for the next position, next level. Again, the most scariest part, I had to compete not with DTM Aram, but also with Toastmaster Latif, who I just encouraged him, come on, you can do it. The one of the candidate is just dropped out, and you had a chance to compete in. And what? This that time, I won't say it was quite best moment for me that I was in top three at division level. So overall, it was a wonderful experience. So it seems like I've delivered all the speeches of the year 2024 in that contest period. That's why this is the last meeting of the year of the Quantum Leap, and I still not come up with a speech. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. I don't know whether that was a humble brag or barely concealed gloating, but whatever it was, it was enjoyable. I'm sure DTA Imran enjoyed it the most. So now I'll ask our next speaker, Toastmaster Sama Anjum. First, please evaluate Toastmaster Imran's table topic, and then for 30 seconds, and then you get your topic.
So, Toastmaster Imran Rana, I can relate my life about public speaking with your life. I'm also scared with the prepared speeches, and hardly, at least you are delivering once in a year. I'm not even delivering one speech in 1 year. And this is really scariest moment for my life also. And the way you have come up, and also the judges has given the highest score in ballot paper to you. Uh, oh, it's time's up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now your topic, Toastmaster Sabha, is uh, the my favorite day of 2024. My favorite day of 2024.
2024 is marvelous for me. Every day was favorite. Uh, I got a championship. I think probably on 1st June 2024, I got a different title in my life. It's not like I never thought of. Probably I thought of being capable that much since my childhood, but I never knew I will get it. And the most important part is Didier Meram Rizvi. She's in my inspiration. I came across with her during that entire process. I think when Toastmaster, in the process of Toastmaster, we get a lot of mentors and we'll get a lot of inspiration and very sincere people. I think that's also one of the reasons that 2024 every day is my favorite day, and it's still time's not up. So I'm still stick to time. So how many seconds I do have? Any timer? I cannot see the timer here.
Yeah, actually, it is. I think you have Yeah, you just qualified. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Now
So
our next speaker, Toastmaster Cyril, are you there?
Oh, yes.
Please evaluate the earlier speech first for 30 seconds, and then I give you your topic.
Right. Toastmaster Saba, wonderful, wonderful take on every day of 2024 being a good day for you. Uh, the only thing that I would probably say is shaky camera movement. I believe you're taking this meeting on a phone, and that's pretty rich coming from me. Yeah, I'm not even switching on my camera, and compare. I'm evaluating your camera. That's just it. I do not know. Would you really would have gone for this particular topic, or would you have given maybe 5 seconds of thought? Would you have changed it? Would you have picked up on what?
I just picked up the phone and I attended the meeting because I didn't have any proper setup at my house. So it's always
Got,
very difficult to be online.
got it, got it, got it. Yeah, enjoyable speech. Very enjoyable speech. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Toastmaster Cyril. And Toastmaster Cyril embodying the unspoken mantra of evaluators everywhere. Do as I say, not as I do. So, Toastmaster Cyril, your topic is the most glorious moment of 2024. The most glorious moment of 2024.
Well, 2024. It's a difficult year to kind of think glorious moments because I don't have anything that's significantly glorious to share. But I guess probably the most glorious moment that happened was in 2014. That was a year that I had to convince my future father-in-law that he had to promise his daughter to me. Now, people do not know my father-in-law is a chairman of a rather prominent bank here in India, and it's difficult to negotiate with him. We just had a speech on negotiation, and what did I do? I went and met him at a hotel. Surprise, surprise, that's a wrong hotel. He stays at a different Marriott, not this Marriott. Run there. He's coming down. And well, he's a chairman. He also has an attaché with him, a guy before whom I can't reveal my family secrets. And then we have a pleasant lunch when everything I tried with great difficulty keeping it down. At the last 20 seconds of that lunch meeting, I had the guts to tell him, let's step out for a small walk. I need to tell you something. I wasn't part of Toastmasters then. I had absolutely no clue about table topics. What did I do? I gave the best speech that I heard in a movie. And this movie was it was Amitabh's movie, Diwar. And the thing was, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, bangla hai, bank balance hai. Yeah, I've got everything. So yeah, and on top of that, I'll take care of your daughter. Looking back, that was the most annoying speech that I could have ever given. But hell, I got what I wanted, and everyone's happy. So am I. So yes, back to you, table topics master of the day.
Thank you so much. And now closing the loop will be DTM Miriam Rizvi herself. So please evaluate Cyril's speech for 30 seconds. You're muted.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Cyril. It was a wonderful speech. And what I really like about when you go ahead with the speech is that you are a storyteller. And that comes without any doubt. You set the space. When you said, surprise, surprise, I was already there waiting for something to be changed. And then, of course, when you brought in the dialogue, it's Mera paas bangla hai, gaadi hai. Hi. If, in the end, if you would have just said hi, that would have really added up a further tip to it. But wonderfully done. And yes, I would say a camera would have added some spark. So let's try doing that next time. So I'm done. 30 seconds, I think that's done, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So DTM Miriam, your topic is the stupidest thing my husband did in 2024 from the long list of stupid things that my husband did in 2024.
So thank you very much for the topic. So I have been called out for a couple of podcasts this year. And I think this has been a wonderful year with a lot of places where I am next to the media. And there is a lot of extempore conversations. The most stupid thing that I have done is, out of a lot of stupid things that I do, which I put the blame on my husband, is that now my comments are recorded, used for further references. Whereas as a woman, I had the power of saying anything and then changing it later. So the places where I've been asked questions where I have to speak truth about my husband, where he's a wonderful guy, when I say in reality fighting that, you have never supported me, I am reference of a podcast recording that you said over there that I have a very supportive husband. I have wonderful in-laws. My mother-in-law was amazing taking care of my kids. So now all of those things which I used to use for my husband, saying that whatever you say is recorded, is actually in karma recorded for me. That too online, and it will not go anywhere, by the way. So you have no idea of the stupidness I have done. And this is something which I would say that has paid off 10 years of hard work and struggle that my husband has gone through with me, and it is paying it off to him now. So now he enjoys, he watches my podcast, he keeps the snips, and whenever we are fighting, he shows it off to me. Reference to the podcast variety, which was recorded on October 12th, you said I'm the most supportive husband. So please do not bring this up in the argument anymore. So these are the most stupidest thing that I have done in 2024. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, DT Amiram. Wow. So I surely would have carried a recording device with me as well, but the problem is that my wife never says any good thing about me, either on a podcast or offline. So now closing the loop, I'll ask Toastmaster Bilal Aslam to quickly evaluate within 30 seconds DT Amiram's speech.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity, Iram Rizvi. Well, it seems like I'm a peanut. I don't have that much, the caliber to evaluate you, but still, as this task has to be done through me by me. So one thing I will tell you that I love most about your speech is the emotions you had in your voice. Okay, although I could not see your face, but I was completely engaged in your communication. Okay, that was the best thing about the full of emotions of your words. Okay, and the second thing, maybe I misunderstood the question. The question was the dumbest thing your husband has done. Okay, it was not the bad thing or the dumbest thing you have done. So if you could hear the question, listen the question properly, it would have been much better. That's all from my side.
Okay, thank you so much.
That
Thank you so much.
changes everything. That changes
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's why. Okay. Anyhow, now I'm handing over the charge to Toastmaster of the Day and quickly floating the poll for best table topic speaker. Everyone, please vote. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for such a wonderful session. See, I was right. How scariest DTM Aram is if you had to compete 3 times against her. Now it's time for us to move towards the last session, that is the general evaluation session. And for that, we have once again DTM Sarfaraz Nazir to conduct the session. I would request DTM Sarfaraz to please take the charge. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Imran Rana. Before I provide the general evaluation, I will ask the facilitators or role players to provide their reports, starting with the language evaluator. I know.
Yeah, actually, we couldn't list one. DTM Sarfaraz. So I think we can skip over.
Okay. How about the timer?
Yes.
I know the AI was doing the timing, but I'll let you speak on
No.
behalf of the AI.
It was not artificial intelligence, it was human stupidity doing the timing. So, we started on time, and your keynote was bang on time. The Q&A Q&A session got overtimed, but I think none of the questions could have been missed. And I just believe that the answers to the questions could have been a little more curtailed, and our prepared speaker exceeded his time. And Toastmaster Forum, that's what happens when you come back to Toastmasters after 1 year. But no worries there. Our modular evaluators and the lead evaluator all stayed within their time. The table topic speakers stayed spectacularly within time, both for their short evaluations and for the table topic speeches. So that's how we are broadly within time. I mean, we are exceeding by 5 or 6 minutes overall. So over to you, Mr. General.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Yeah, I understand what you said something. I think we are on target to end the meeting. We started the meeting on time, but I think we are on target to end the meeting, even though the question and answer was. What I liked about the meeting was, number one, it was well advertised or well publicized. I saw the notice about the meeting in different WhatsApp groups, and that's great. And as a result of the publicity, we had about 21, 22 people join in. Some left. Right now we have 12. A few minutes ago we had 14, and there are some that are no longer with us. So 21 people stayed at least part of the way with us, and that's great for a small club. And I consider it's an advanced club, but I consider it a small club because I think we have 11 paid members at the time. But to have so many guests, that's wonderful. And it was nice to see Toastmaster Khurram just to give a speech. It's been a while since I've heard him speak. I think the last time I heard he was in a speech contest a few years back. And also, it was nice to note Toastmaster Imran Rana, his challenge of competing. And what he failed to mention was his moon dance more than, I think the entire Toastmaster community in Pakistan was surprised to see him doing moon dance. And for that, no matter how good or how bad your speech was, you were going to be on the podium just for that moon dance. It was also nice to see our club VP education having a wonderful time. And not only she was smiling the time that she was with us, she was also sending hearts, red hearts throughout the meetings. That's great. Good to see some Toastmasters from other groups that joined, like from KTC, Salah Ahmed was with us for a while, and also from CA Club in Karachi, Toastmaster Sabah Anjumid with us. And she mentioned that she has not given a speech. So that would be one of the many priorities to say that at least I will give one speech in 2025. And I'm sure there's several people in Quantum Leap that can help you accomplish that. Great meeting, because not only we had a keynote, we also had a speech project or a prepared speech. Table topics are new method of presenting table topics where you evaluate and respond to a question. And I think people are liking it or loving it based on the response we are getting. And especially using some of our guests. And you could tell the guests were also there, from the expression, they were actually enjoying the new format where they're evaluating and then presenting an answer. So Toastmaster Iram Razvi, thank you for joining. I know you were busy with your son's championship going on. And now we know that I guess your husband has got you on the hook, so next time I guess you have to be careful when you pass on good compliments, because they may come back and haunt you. That's why I guess Toastmaster Anam Qadir doesn't pass any compliments. She knows they might come back and haunt her when it comes to TTM. Great meeting. It was my honor to present the keynote, and also glad I joined. Thank you, all our members of Quantum Leap and all the Toastmasters who joined from other clubs. Great meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. This brings our meeting comes to an end, and I would like to wish Quantum Leap to have a wonderful, amazing 2025. And we had a wonderful meetings in 2024, and I wish that 2025 will be more amazing than the then 2024. So with that, I would request our president to please take the stage and conclude this meeting. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. What a wonderful meeting we had. And the best part is that not only we have a world exclusive evaluation format, to my knowledge, this modular evaluation format is not used by any other club because it is an invention of our founding member, DTM Sudarshan. And now we have something unique too in table topics, which is the format brought to us by DTM Viram. So thank you so much for both. And without further ado, first please vote for the best role player, and I'll ask some of the guests for their feedback. So, Toastmaster Bilal, your brief feedback about me.
Okay, so as you said, some things are exclusive to this club. Okay, so yes, I really enjoyed those. And first, this one is you have to do the evaluation. So you keep your mind active for all the speakers. So you never know when you will be asked to be the next speaker. So you have to keep your ears open. Okay, that's the best thing. And second, the keynote speech for today's session was excellent. It was eye opener. Okay, and thought provoking also from many aspects. Okay, so I just missed the 25 minutes of the start. Now I feel bad. I feel guilty for missing that. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Well, you can check out our YouTube channel, Quantum Leaps YouTube channel, and there you can find the recording. And please do check it out. We also have DTM Faisal Murad from District 79. He just joined. Welcome, sir. Toastmaster Sabha, your comments about the meeting.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Because हमारे रोड पे एक ठेला वाला भी आया हुआ है, शायद आपको उनकी ज्यादा आवाज आ रही हो.
It's all right.
So I have to change different places at my home to attend the online meeting, so bear with me. I'm so happy attending today's meeting because a lot of celebrities, for me, you people are celebrities like Mr. Sarfaraz, Tala bin Hamid, Iram Rizvi, Latif. I'm so privileged to listen to you all. And Bilal Aslam is also the member of CA Toastmaster Club. I am happy to see him here. That's mean he's pursuing excellence these days. I got to know his goal for 2025 if he's here. So even if I get few minutes in this club, I'm always happy. I never feel guilty. So that's what I want to tell to Bilal also. Don't feel guilty if you lost 25 minutes. Even if you are here for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it means you got the coverage. So I was here today. Probably I left 3 times the meeting and then I reattended because my nephew was troubling and he wanted to speak to you all. And I didn't know whether you would be able to accommodate him for that time. So I was occupied with him and playing toys. So that's how the weekend is. But I'm really happy to see this club growing and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So in today's meeting, we had a plethora of public speaking champions. We had DTM Sarfraz himself. We had Toastmaster Brarwani. We have DTM Iram. We have Toastmaster Kuram Saeed Chishti. And we have Toastmaster Cyril. So that makes 5 district champions in one meeting. So amazing. And we have, okay, Toastmaster Kuram. Since you're back after so long, you need to share your thoughts.
Yeah. Sir, as you know that I mean, obviously I'm out of sync and out of connection for a while, but since beginning when we started together the quantum leap, it was to be beyond excellence, I would say. We always do the things the way others don't do it, and the way I like it a lot. And I would say that the new table topic way of doing the things is amazing. The evaluation we continue to do that one. It is nice. So the my thought is that I go out, I come back in for a short period, and I didn't miss anything. I don't see that the quality has gone down. So that's the success, I would say, to maintain and improve the quality, and sustain at that level and going beyond. That's the quality, I would say. So a big congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kurum. You're a charter member of this club. You've contributed immensely to this club. And my message to every Toastmaster, not only just Quantum Leap members, but whichever club you're members of, you're not a member of that club. You are that club. So club is not an independent body that exists outside of its members. It consists of its members. So each and every one's contribution is as important as any other. So taking advantage, DTM Faisal Murad, if you could just introduce yourself to our members, because DTM Faisal Murad is one of the charter members of Quantum D, and would be lovely to hear from you, sir. Although the meeting is ending, but still.
Thank you very much, DTM Talab and Hamid, for inviting me. And yes, I was a charter member of the same club, but in between I missed the club, actually because in Middle East Saturday and Sunday this is working day, so it's difficult for me to join the meetings. But whenever I get a chance, and I agree with Team Toastmaster Sabha that I never feel guilty, although even today I joined when the general elevator was ending. But if I got some time, it's good to have with you guys this time celebrate engaging with you, and whatever we have in this club we are sharing with each other. So I would love to join even in future from far away, but whenever I will visit Pakistan, inshallah, I will try to attend the physical meetings. I heard, I think so Karachi Toastmasters Club have physical meetings, right? 2 days before I attended their one of the meeting, but even because I was in the office, I was attending and leaving the meeting in between. So anyways, I am actually, you asked me to introduce myself. I become Toastmaster here in Saudi Arabia, and I think since last 6-7 years I'm with the Toastmasters. And I think during COVID era, this was the era when I got a chance to join the Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club and other online clubs. At this moment, I think this is an honor for me to be part of the Quantum Leap and other clubs because of the this opportunity. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Faisal. You're always a valued part of Quantum Leap, and feel free to join the meeting at any time. And if you wish to do a project, you're more than welcome to it as well. Toastmaster Latif, your thoughts?
My thoughts, when you have 5 champions, learning goes multiplies, and there was nothing wrong about my vision at first, because the DTM Sarfraz did share few of things which I really wanted to revisit and make sure that 2025 doesn't go like all my 53 years in past. So let's see how it goes in 2025. But one thing for most lovely moment where I glued and stick to it is just because I'm a very selfish person. I love to learn and grab things which some in a shortest way. So today I learned the way Khurram, how he has been, because when he was a champion, I believe I in my nearest of time also I didn't hear him. Last 2-3 years I haven't heard him, so I don't know. But love the way, and I know why you are a champion speaker, because you delivered a speech which was as per you impromptu, but for us it was a well written, well scripted, and well delivered. Learn with each and every moment, each and every speaker who came to the podium shared their experiences, and selfish me, I always take something away for myself. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you, Latif. You have been anything but selfish. You've given so much to Karachi Toastmasters Club and your own home club and to the community as a whole. When I first met Latif at CA Toastmasters Club, all those years ago, he looked about 50 years old. And today he looks about 35 years old. So that is one thing, mashallah, that he's been working at relentlessly, continuously. And I bet if he hadn't given away his age, none of us would have guessed his age. So yeah, better not mention it, Latif. There's no need to mention it, okay? And Toastmaster Forum, a pro tip. No need to mention that you did not write your speech, okay? Let the evaluator mention it to you that you did not seem prepared, but there was nothing of the sort. If you hadn't told us, I mean, we wouldn't have known. So why mention? Okay. So
So the point is that all the five evaluators, they didn't say anything around that. So I said, okay, let me be the honest and transparent person.
you fooled them, right? So let them stay fooled.
You
No
know
one.
that before 10 minutes before the meeting, I told you that my half of the speech has not been written yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I have been aware of your progress, and also Toastmaster Forum it could not sleep at night due to due to his baby. So again, so thank you so much, everyone. It's been an amazing meeting. What a banging end to the year, especially. A special thanks to DTM Biram for setting out the agenda, for DTM Ajay for taking up roles, and DTM Safraz, of course, for signing up for, I don't know, 6 or 7 roles before I use my presidential powers to take away some of the roles from him. Thank you so much, sir. I think, especially coming hot off the heels of the last meeting, barely 1 week after last meeting, it was an amazing success. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Forum. Please, please, please keep joining in the future. And everyone who is on this meeting right now, Quantum Leap is open for your speeches or roles. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Take care.
Have a lovely weekend.
Happy 2025. Inshallah.
Happy 2025.
Happy 2025.
Okay, everyone.